Hello everyone, this is Yana Smakula here at Spellbinders and thank you for joining me today. In this video, I'll show you how to create a fun and playful masculine card using Spellbinders Die Delight dies. I'm going to be using spaced out dies along with a standard circles large to create this card today. I'm going to begin by creating a background panel first. I love using small individual dies to create unique backgrounds. I've already shared several videos here where I used our Die Delight dies to create a negative die cut panel for a card, and also another video where I made a custom embossing plate. I'm going to combine both of these techniques today to create a one-of-a-kind background for a fun, masculine project. Here I have a panel of hunter green cardstock from my color cardstock cut to 4 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to position the rocket die in the middle and will go ahead and die cut it in my Platinum 6 die cutting and embossing machine to create an opening in the panel. Once I have the first one cut, I'm going to position the die above the first piece and will go ahead and cut it again. Next, I'm going to cut it below to complete the middle row. I'm going to cut the same image on the left and on the right to have one large negative die cut panel. Make sure to save the little die cut rockets, there's no need to throw them away. They can be reused on another project and we will actually need one of them to complete this card today. Once I have my panel pre-cut, I'm going to position it over another panel. This one is made out of pale aqua cardstock and is cut to 4 1/8 by 5.5 inches. I'm going to tape it in place lightly and will go ahead and send through the machine with my embossing sandwich to emboss it. I have my base platform, my panels, with the die cut panel being on the bottom and the solid panel being on the top, and I'm going to place my 10 embossing mat and my blue embossing plate on top, and we'll go ahead and emboss this. Now you can leave your pale blue panel as is, with just a faint embossed texture in the background, or you can add more details by embossing a rocket ship in each one of those placeholders. There are two ways to do this. You can mount the rocket die over each one of those and do partial embossing, but I find this method to be a little bit more time-consuming and more difficult. And the second method would be to die cut the rocket ship shapes out of the same color of cardstock, emboss them one by one, and simply adhere them onto the main panel. So to create a faux embossed panel. This is what I'm going to do. Before die cutting the shapes out, I first added a layer of adhesive to the back of my cardstock to make it easier to adhere each shape down onto my panel. Now that I have the shapes cut and embossed, I'm going to adhere them one by one over the previously embossed shapes to add more detail to this background. Having that adhesive on the back makes it very easy to do. And once that is done, I'm going to foam mount my hunter green negative die cut panel over it. And our background is ready. All we have to do now is decorate the card. I've already stamped a sentiment and this one reads hello. It's from Mama Elephant Words Defined stamp set, and I stamped it in Alt New Emerald ink. It matches the hunter green cardstock perfectly. So I'm going to foam mount this onto the background panel. I've also already pre-cut a circle out of vellum, and this will serve as a placeholder for the rocket ship and a planet. Let's do some more die cutting. I'm going to die cut a planet and the ring around it out of Tropical Sea cardstock from my color cardstock, and I'm die cutting and also embossing those to add some additional detail. I'll also need 2 stars and a flame for my rocket, so I'm cutting and also embossing those out of pale aqua. And finally, I need to emboss one of those rockets that I have already die cut. Once I have all of my pieces ready, I'm going to go ahead and foam mount the rocket onto the vellum circle. I'm also adding the flame coming out of the engine, and adding the planet and the ring around it. Now I can adhere the circle onto the sentiment panel, and I'm actually overlapping the sentiment slightly. Because I used vellum here, you can still see the sentiment, and the vellum circle is not actually blocking anything. Lastly, I'm going to foam mount my die-cut stars. And once it's done, I can adhere this panel onto an A2 top folding card base. Here's a closer look at this fun and playful masculine card created using Spellbinder's Spaced Out die from the Die Delights collection. If you have any questions about this card, please leave them in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to Spellbinder's YouTube channel for more education and inspiration. If you're looking for a list of supplies to create this card, you can find it in the video description below and also on my blog. Here are a few additional videos created using Spellbinder's dies. Feel free to check them out for additional inspiration. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!